And welcome everyone to week 2 of the PUBG Mobile Titan Series Pro Scrims watch party. If you're here last week, you know I'm Enigma, of course, but this week around we have someone new, someone kind of famous in the scene.
What's going on, everyone?
T-Max, come on, baby.
Hey, this is my first time casting Pro Scrims. It's an honor to be working with you, Enigma. Pretty nervous, but we'll see how it goes. I think I'll be all right. I know the game. I've been playing PUBG Mobile. I played competitive many years ago, but now we just hang out. I watch the pros do their thing, and that's it, man. We just check out to see what's going on today's scrims, though. I'm very excited because there's a lot of teams.
You can't be nervous, T-Max, if you're not the one playing. Okay, we're up here. We're here to have a good time.
This is true.
We just watch these players maybe drive into a car or something, you know, a little crash simulation going on. But for the most part, the games will be great, even though there's only going to be 3 tonight here, T-Max. But I got to ask you, okay, the name, the hat, I'm kind of feeling like there's a little bit of a tie there. How did you even come up with that name, T-Max? Is it a friend recommendation? You just feel it from back in the day? What are we getting at?
This is the name that I have is something that's been going on since my high school days.
Okay.
My last name is so long that my coach decided to say, hey, you know what? We're just gonna call you Mags. So it's been Mags this whole time. The first letter, obviously T is the initial of my first name. And then the Mags, it's short for my last name, but that's pretty much it. T Mags.
And I get the one guess here, Tyler.
Yeah, pretty much.
Name? Oh,
yeah, exactly. Yep. Tyler.
Okay, yep, I knew it. There's one guess I get there in terms of the first name. Mine's with an A, so I'll let you sit on that for a little bit. I'm kind of doubting you get it in this broadcast stream, but for the most part, for this sort of stuff going on here tonight, T-Mags, obviously, you know, you're a PUBG Mobile VIP content creator. You've been around the space a long time. Was PUBG kind of your first game you did content in, or did you kind of start from elsewhere?
Actually, it was PUBG Mobile that I did content on. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It was the first game back in the days. Omelet Arcade. I mean, we were all downloaded it on our mobile device, and from there on, you know, it's history, man.
Yeah. I mean, well, it came from, you know, Mad Cat was a thing at one point, and then Trovo, and now we're kind of bringing it all back to YouTube and Instagram with all these social media stuffs going on. Hopefully we can bring up this graphic real quick for everyone to see. If you're last week, you know the rundown. I'm going to go through it again here tonight for you guys watching. If you want any sort of updates, information for the live streams, or potentially about signups opening and closing, Instagram and Twitter, Esports PUBG Mobile NA is going to be your best bet at getting that information. And if you're here, of course, whether it's on T-Mag's YouTube live stream or on the official channel, if you're watching here tonight, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Watch all PUBG Mobile events that go on in terms of the NA region, Esports, you name it. We've got it for you guys. And lastly, if you're feeling it, you're watching these players and you're saying, I can do better than that. You're those rank grinders from back in the day, reach and conquer every time. You're going to want to join that Discord. You're going to want to tune in. You're going to get yourself that information and start showing up in these matches, because for it being PUBG Mobile's Titan Series scrims here tonight, T-Max, the circuit for NA now essentially for you to reach those big league matches we see on stream, it's going to be through Titan Series. That's the Discord you want to go through. That's going to be the place for it. Now with T-Mags, that following, we talked about the social media and stuff like that, but the teams is the big one that everyone looks at. You're an old head from back in the day. Do you recognize any of these squads here tonight?
I don't. I do not recognize any of those squads. These squads are all brand new squads, but I'm going to have my eye on Dauntless.
Okay.
And we all know why. We all know why.
I don't know why. Hit me with it. Come on.
Come on, man. We got Coops on that team, man.
Coops. Oh man, the Coops fanboy. I thought since you're an old head, you'd say Tense or something. I believe he's still on that roster. But Coops,
yeah, that's true. That's true. He's on there too as well.
Well, you know, both of them used to play on Pittsburgh Knights back in the day, and that was a real treat to see. And obviously, you know, they both went their separate ways after that organization. But for the most part, T-Max, we're talking 3 games. Right, Dauntless, I believe last week did not perform the hottest compared to these other teams. 7th place, we're talking 15 total points. They were just 1 placement short of reaching that sort of money area we're going to be looking at here in a second. But the first place team, not only in the scrims last week, but also for Titan Series official qualifications, gonna be 0-2. They're kind of the Goliaths in the lobby right now for everyone to kind of look at. But we got to talk about it, T-Mags. You're going to be breaking it down for us, what these teams are playing for tonight. Even though it's 3 matches, there's still money on the line.
All right, yeah, we got a total prize pool of $4,500. First place is going to get $600, second $350, third $200, fourth $150, and fifth and sixth will also get $50. But we also have an MVP, which is going to be $100 USD award per day. So they got to get their A game going. Hopefully they could cash in some cash, but yeah, total prize pool is $4,500.
Yeah, and I mean, for that MVP, just a reminder for everyone, when it comes to that being announced, that will not be announced on stream today. We can maybe throw up some names, but we're not going to be the statisticians, I guess you could say, behind the scenes. They posted just the day after Baton from 0-2 was last week's MVP. So not only did that squad get 600, that individual player also received an extra $100. And for the most part, T-Max, when I'm looking at this spread, you know, for one day, you know, a few hours out of your day, 3 games, even if you're finishing in that 5th, 6th spot, that 50 USD, that could be the battle pass. That could be a few extra skin rolls, you know, on the boxes. Everything kind of makes sense. And we can see the schedule here. If you missed last week's, make sure to look at the YouTube 0-2. If you're a new fan of one of these new squads, the underdog, no names, that's the team to look out for. This week, though, is going to be day number 226. That's going to be today. 3 games here tonight, but the 5th, the final day for these scrims, going to be next week on December 5th. So make sure not to go anywhere for that afterwards, guys. That's going to be the place to do it. And T-Max, we got to bring it in for a sec, okay? Because these teams, it's 3 games. You know, you've been around the competitive space for a little bit. You know of some teams. what do you think is kind of the game plan for these squads coming here tonight? Do you think it's going to be the placement focus? Do you think it's going to be eliminations? What's on your mind tonight?
Well, there is money involved, so I feel that some of the teams are going to go ahead and play it like if they're trying to qualify for, you know, your PMSL. But there's going to be other teams that are just going to go out here. They're going to frag out. They're just going to full send it, right? Try to get elims. Also work on rotation. So I'm pretty curious what NRG is gonna do. I've been watching most of these teams in Titan series and PMSL, so I'm pretty excited what they do here in this environment.
Yeah, and I mean PMSL is always, you know, that cream of the crop. You know, our squads go and fly to Brazil. They compete for a month. Last tournament was 4 weeks. The first split was 3 weeks. These players, man, they got really run through that gauntlet, 30 games a week. So these players, you know, these teams that come back, whether it's Inco Gaming, whether it's NRG, X Factor, we're kind of expecting them to be gone through that hyperbolic time chamber almost, right? We expect them to dominate these lobbies. But last week, we didn't really get to see that with NRG. So I'm kind of in your seat of what they're able to really do here tonight, especially with money on the line. I believe their roster is going to be Fate, Spec, J7. I'm not sure who their fourth is that they're really looking at. Maybe we'll see a tryout here tonight. You know, you never know. There's that little bit of a window room coming in. But T-Mags, you know, when we're talking NRG and I'm naming 3 names, would you ever try out for that? Come on, you know I was going to ask you. Are you going to try out for NRG? We'll make the call right now.
No,
afterwards.
Not at all, man. I haven't played on phone for like about 2 years.
Oh, man.
I was at the Esports Award and I played a match with Fate.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so I was playing on a Z Fold and I folded it as a phone and I started playing claw full gyro. And yeah, dude, I'm rusty, dude. My hands started cramping up, man. And I just said, you know what? Kudos to you, man, for playing on phone this whole time, man.
Yeah, and I mean the other kind of cream of the crop to add that to the Team X is Amos is turned off in these lobbies. You don't get the love from the game, that artificial kind of aim for it and stuff like that. But for this kind of coming in, they're kind of chiming in our ear real quick here, T-Max. These teams coming in, they're starting to strap in the plane. I'm not sure if we have a little bit of time maybe to pull up that map rotation, just a quick little look at it for those 3 matches. But T-Max, for these teams, we're starting off on Erangel for game number 1. Next afterwards is going to be Miramar. And finally, we're going to finish the day on Sandhawk. And I asked Red Eyes this, his
Sandhawk,
choice.
Man.
Really? Oh my! I thought you were gonna be different from Red Eyes.
No,
okay?
no. So Sandhawk. When I'm spectating competitive, I love watching Sandhawk because it's a faster pace. My map, the map that I love to play in, is Erangel. But I also have some love for Miramar, man. Miramar season 2 back in the day. I mean, Car 9, M4. That was a loadout back then, man.
Yeah, I mean, back in the day, even Hot Jukes is a believer. He's praying. The PUBG Mobile devs, the chicken gods are kind of listening to us here tonight on me saying this. If he wants the Car 98 buff, he wants it, at least a minimum for that weapon. If there's a player knocked, it should be an instant thirst with it. It shouldn't be a half HP. Obviously, you know, it should take some skill using a headshot. And there's been a lot of different things that PUBG Mobile could play around with and maybe even change it up for the competitive and regular gameplay state. But for me, I said it last week, T-Max, you might not have heard it. My favorite's going to be Miramar, but we're going to have to wait for both of our favorite picks because right now, T-Max, we're going to be heading right into Erangel for game number 1. These squads right now, this is the tried and true map. This is where everyone learned the game of PUBG Mobile back in the day. And I know you're definitely a fan to see it.
100%, man. Erangel is the map that we all grew up on. And pretty excited where this flight path is gonna head to.
Yeah, we should be seeing it right now in a sec. Just let it load in a little bit more. Oh man, I always just, you know, it always kicks me in the side because back in the day when I played on Wildcard and stuff, our drop spot was Severny, and if you were to take this plane path and throw it in with that squad, we'd all be punching the air because it's just you're gonna have to drop probably around Naya or Rozhawk. Take a vehicle, do that long drive. You never get to pick where you're really going to be going in that next zone because chances are probably going to go Millie or School, one of these zones that we've seen a million different times. But T-Max, okay, I like to keep asking you these questions because you're the new guy here and stuff like that. But what's your drop spot not only in rank, but if you were to be a comp player, where do you think you'd really want to drop?
I love Yasnaya.
Okay.
Yasnaya is home away from home. There's a lot of loot. There's a lot of buildings. It's big enough for two teams to go in there and loot. I've seen two teams land in PMSL in there and share half of Yasnaya, which is pretty amazing because they weren't fighting. Like they had this disagreement saying, hey, we're both gonna land here, we'll loot up, and then at the end game we could probably meet up.
Yeah, it's always kind of that like secret handshake that those teams do. Obviously, they're not colluding in any way, but if you're a competitive team, you're wanting to play out the game in some way. You're not wanting to kind of shoot each other in the foot. And let's say, for example, with this zone, if you're in Yasnaya and you go for that fight, you're going to start eating blue zone. And with that sort of elimination feed maybe popping up, if you got those, you might get zone camped from, you know, Ruins or even Rozhawk. So these squads, they've really kind of play the map, especially on Erangel. Everyone knows exactly what prime spots are going to be taken. We could see as well, NRG, they're the team that either lands in Primorsk here, T-Mags, or goes up to Kameshki. Thankfully for them, they chose to go on the far side, and they were able to kind of secure themselves that center spot and zone. But a lot of these teams, man, they came into last week, T-Mags, and I felt they all kind of just dropped the ball. Everyone got ran over by 0-2.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, this is true. Right now we have Golden Eagles. They're on the rotation. They do have a vehicle. It seems like if they're in Rozhawk, actually, they're in Rozhawk collecting vehicles, trying to get some loot. Not much going on right now, but the zone did favor the west side of Erangel, so we do have a western zone. Now we need to see where it's going to move to. So
and my bets are going to be it's going to end right in that quarry, that little bowl spot. You know, everyone likes playing the mountain, but as soon as it gets to that late game, that zone 5 or 6, it kind of just is like, oh, would you rather be in the zone or would you rather be on the high ground? And you know, I'm a crazy Star Wars fan, but I got to throw the towel in at some point. If the high ground might just bite you in the back at some point. And for this sort of gameplay, just a reminder for everyone watching, of course, you know, these are our top premier Titan Series squads. These teams have already battled it out over the last 2 weeks for their point qualifications for those finals. If you haven't looked at it, it's going to be on the social medias like posted before. I believe it's 0-2 in first. Second place is going to be right around Inco Gaming, which is a surprise because last week we saw Inco Gaming in these matches performing horribly in my eyes with the kind of reputation that squad has. So these teams are going to have to start moving in. A lot of these squads choosing to kind of play it slow still, which I honestly prefer to see. It's just a little bit of a concern for me, T-Max, when we're seeing a lot of these people, what is that, 4, 5, 6 teams on that eastern side. If people kind of take too long to rotate in, you're going to have a lot of congestion on the edge. And with the blue zone ticking in with a lot of free real estate, if you're all on the same side of zone, you're really going to kind of just hate making that rotation in.
I don't know, man. I feel that there's going to be a lot of gatekeeping going on, man. SLR, they're pretty much known for that. So SLR is at the edge there. Yeah. And they could go ahead and camp out SON or SL. So we'll see what happens. But honestly, I wish the zone ends in Primorsk.
Okay.
Primorsk, really... man, that's gonna be wild, man. So many teams going in there. There's a lot of buildings, and I mean, you know, all the nades going out, throwables, utilities. It's gonna be fun to watch.
Well, the nice thing is when it comes to these comp matches, these players are so good at, you know, throwing those frag grenades. I even saw, I believe it was Metalcore was spectating the Titan Series official qualification games, and he was just amazed with players like Spec or even some of these random teams you've never heard of throwing nades, and it's popping immediately on the guy's head in the air. It's not hitting the ground. It's not bouncing off the window. It's like a dime right on top of him, T-Max. So hopefully, to be honest, now that you said that, I'm hoping we get to see it, because if these squads really were to start, you know, having to kind of congest down into Primorsk, and I thought you were going to say you wanted Primorsk because of the botation, maybe we'd be able to see from Millie Base, but I kind of like your answer a lot more. It's a lot more favorable. The nades seem kind of like the cream of the crop, I guess you could say, for people maybe making plays here tonight.
I mean, anytime you get a knock with the nade, it just feels good, right? Oh, it just feels good, man. You just hit it right in the money, cook it right on time, just land right on their head, and next thing you know, you get that knock. right?
Yeah.
You get that knock, and then boom, you just push.
Well,
You just push and take care of business.
Well, the nice thing is you're not going to even see it as just one player on a team throwing a frag grenade. It's usually going to be 2 or 3, and then their 4th player is either going to be in some off-angle spot, or they're going to go for those shots on players kind of having to move. You know, they're having to play a hot potato with their feet on where that nade's actually going to land, because if you're having multiple people start throwing frags, even if it tags you up, the more the merrier. That's how you start getting these openings, and it's all about conserving HP in these sort of matches. It's all about keeping yourself in a man advantage. And when it comes to shotgun play, of course, I know you and I have been through it the most, probably when it comes to either ranked matches or competitive play. These guys have been through the ringer of it. Sometimes you just get one tap, right? The shotgun comes out, you get him low, and he just turns and absolutely dumpsters you in the dirt. But for these teams, I'm hoping that they're able to really start playing these long angles, especially with it being a round quarry for this side of the map. There's a lot of open terrain and rotations. I'm hoping that these squads are really able to kind of keep themselves together and not lose people early on.
One of the weapons that I don't, even though I've used it so many times and I'm trying to learn it, is the shotguns, regardless of what it is. DBS, they knock me, melt me, make me into water, bro, with one shot. And when I try to use it, I have to hit him like 6 times, dude. I don't know what it is, man. It's a weapon that I could not use for some reason.
Well, it's crazy because, you know, when it was first introduced to PUBG Mobile, it was in the crate.
It was 100%.
Yeah, no one used it. Everyone was kind of sleeping on it. The only player that actually would pick up that shotgun was Seagut from Tribe Gaming.
I remember Seagut, man.
Yeah, he would pick it
God.
up and he would start dumpstering on people. And then it would come around because that whole meta back in 2019, 2020, even
there's a
early
knock.
21. Oh, first knock, and that's going to be from the MVP last week, T-Max. He's already getting early.
0-2. Took out Aider from XYQ.
The first death. You know, I always hated having the idea of being the first elimination in a tournament. It was kind of like a running meme because, you know, as much as I love Carnage, T-Max, you know who Carnage is, of course, the man. That's the giant himself, to say the least. The biggest personality, I'd have to say, in PUBG Mobile for competitive. He would almost always be the first person eliminated in tournaments, and people would always give him so much crap for it. And then at the end of the day, he'd be above him on the leaderboard, and he'd make him eat their words. And, you know, I kind of wish that we would have someone like Carnage in the scene anymore. I don't believe we have anyone that's really kind of poking the bear for other people, really getting under people's skins. Because, you know, as much as you hated him saying stuff to you, Carnage, because he would always get under your skin. I'll even say it myself. It made you want to perform better because you wanted to just absolutely shut down his team and really put yourself on the map and say, I'm better than you, to his face. But now, all those old heads, T-Max, unfortunately, you know, I'm kind of starting to feel old talking about this stuff with you. Is that, you know, there's not many heads like that around anymore.
No, there isn't any, man. They're all, you know, they're all retired. They're all, you know, living live, you know, family, you know, I don't know. Not sure what they're doing, man. Not sure what they're doing, but yeah, Arnage was one of them. There was many out there, man. Like you said, Seagut.
I mean, there was Richie, who was friends with Rolex, obviously Juicy, Sixless, I believe, still does content here and there, but the only old head that's not really even an old head, in my opinion, is probably Tensa from that era of gamers, and he was kind of around the end of it. Yeah. So, really unfortunate. I guess, you know, Spec is the only one, actually, now that I'm thinking of it, looking at these rosters and who's on them. Spec's probably the only name that comes to mind that's been here since the get-go. He played a previous game for competitive, swapped over to PUBG Mobile day one, and has stayed with it for many years. He's super successful in it. He went and played, I believe it was EMEA's region for a year with J7 and Xenox, so really putting himself on the map. But with it being these NA teams, T-Max, you got to come back to this region at some point and really show that you're able to perform. And if you're Namos, you can't be flipping the Jeep like this, T-Max. You just can't. Like,
straight out on the ball. He's just chilling upside down. Hey, you know what? It's actually working for him, right? Because he smoked the vehicle. We have what do we have there? 0-2?
Yeah.
0-2. Oh, they found him. They found him. Finally got the knock and got the thirst.
Yeah, they They blew him up. They didn't even let him go down by bullets. It looks like they actually were hunting this team down here. So
there's still one left though.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's 4 players, this is good.
Oh, he has the angle on him.
M4 comes out and you just do the dance. Oh, he gets one at least, but you still got other teammates. Capri's got to make it work, but he still has a chance here, T-Max. He could get it done, but...
Oh, no, that's it. That's it. He exposed himself too much.
Hey, 5 eliminations, though, on the board, T-Max. You're talking this is zone 2. So, you know, only a few minutes into this match, and you're wondering what was going to happen on that eastern side. I think this is this gatekeep you're really kind of thinking of these teams coming in late. This is the squad that was already in the center. They said, yeah, we're not going to take the zone. We'll just take the eliminations again.
Yeah, for the most part, 0-2 is actually just cooking, man. They're out there going ham. I mean, they got five elims. I thought I seen another knock by Golden Eagles, but I see Dauntless on the way too. So this is gonna be another fight. Can 0-2 pick up these elims, or is Dauntless gonna take out 0-2? We'll see. Claus is knocked right now at the moment. They're circling like sharks.
Oh no. Oh, you can't even do nothing. They got everyone phoning it out, and I'm not sure what happened with I guess Dauntless's squad, but they really kind of just gave these free opening knocks, knowing where the 0-2 players were. And yeah, I mean, XP, he's gonna get basically ran over, 1 HP.
That's it. They're out 14th place.
Yeah. At 0 points, by the way, now in these placements. Top 8 is the only teams that get any sort of placements. Really, you're wanting to be in that top 3 T-Max to getting points, or else eliminations are going to be your name of the game. And 0-2, if you're the only team that's going to get eliminations, I'm all for it. It's just I wish, you know, we gave another chance for other teams to maybe have a pop-off performance, because last week, T-Max, they had an average of over 10 eliminations a game. In those games. Yeah, it wasn't just one pop-off game that made them win. They went first, second, first, I believe, something close to that in terms of placements. And then on top of that, getting those 10+ eliminations a game. So if you're looking at these other squads, you know, I like to say there's people close to this roster in terms of skill level, but they're making it look like that's not the case anymore.
Very consistent, I see, huh? So right now they currently have 9 eliminations, and the game's not over yet. The game's not over yet. 50 players remaining, 13 teams left. So I'm probably seeing that they're probably gonna hit the 20 mark.
Damn. Okay, I'm liking it. 20's kind of rare to see.
It is 100%. Yeah. It's kind of rare in scrims. And here we have XYZ, which I believe is Faith popping off, connecting some shots with Inco Gaming. I believe that's 7 at the distance. Yep, he's trying to get the thirst.
Oh.
Nope, no thirst yet, but there is some nades going out as well between them. We got Niners, 999999999 throwing nades out there. And we have a split screen here. What's going on?
Yeah, the crazy thing is that with this off angle, the nice thing is his teammates were already on that knocked player. So this is what I talked about, is that utility usage. If you have someone on the off angle get that opening knock, they got to worry about getting the trade. And this is where it starts happening to people trying to be heroes in the lobby here, T-Max. You see players getting knocked on the hill, the rest of the squad's getting traded out, and it's, hey, you know, Inco Gaming's realizing we're down a member, we still got to find it back in some way. And if you're getting...
Oh my God, here comes those nades, so the utilities.
Man. And a second one right on him. Oh.
Yep. That was it. Coach Juancho out.
Oh, come on. Don't say that, man. He's still my favorite NA player, I think, to watch.
I love Juancho, man. Juancho and I, we played the seven trial, the 7 game trial. Yeah, dude, it was fun, man. It was Juancho, Shifan, and I believe it was, who else? I forgot who else it was. But yeah, it was all of us, and it was a race, right? So we were playing against other content creators, pro players. It was pretty fun.
Well, the nice thing is Pubg Mobile seems to always do stuff, whether it's competitive or, you know, the VIP squad or anyone that does content. You could even play with some of the creators I've seen. If you're just maybe even a viewer, sign up and you could be on that squad playing with them. And I mean, Zfon, credits to him, man. I mean, back in the day, I met him at ESL New York, I think, is the very first event way back in 2019.
Nice.
And then I know he had played obviously a little bit on SSG. He was looking at Omen, really just a tried and true.
Oh, you're going way back, dude.
Yeah, really tried and true test of the squad. And then obviously, you know, he was that main focal point for Nova. They, you know, disbanded that organization and represented, I believe it was, gosh, I don't even remember now. Hyper, that's
Hyper. Yeah.
Hyper, and then became like the manager slash coach for them. And really it was kind of just being able to stay with that content grind, because he was really, as much as pro players don't want to do content, he was one of the only players that consistently stuck with it. And I'm so happy that he gets to go and do all those VIP things. He gets the recognition he deserves, because, man, all of you content creators, I think that's the hardest job in the world, man.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult, man. I mean, at the end, it's about consistency, right?
Yeah.
So if you're out there trying to do content, don't stop. Just keep on putting content. You're gonna have a video that's gonna pop off, or a short, or, you know, whatever your platform is. But hey, we just seen 0-2 just getting eliminated in 12th place.
Oh,
so
man.
I don't know, caster curse maybe.
Hey, I found I was saying it last week, and it ended up them kind of being able to just pass the caster curse. But for the most part, I think they're gonna still be in the top 8 points on the match because of just how many eliminations they had. But we'll have to wait and see for it. There's still a lot of game to be played, and X Factor's trying to make the move right now towards the
talking
Golden
about
Eagle.
Shifon, right? We have X Factor here. That's his team.
That's his squad.
Yeah, that's his squad.
Brady, though, he's trying to get the shotguns, weapon that I know you and I definitely can't use for the most part after I was talking with you. X Factor trying to get up close and personal. The nade's gonna do the job in the shack, but you gotta still work through it. Might be a bit of a bait to go for that thirst. And how about if the nades connect? 1 HP, and he finds them on the shack. D-Max. These guys, it's not too crazy of nade plays just yet, but they're getting the knocks.
We got Trolls here also cooking up a nade. Oh! He got knocked by Frady.
That's it?
That's it. X Factor out, 10th place.
Got Golden Eagles, which is nice too. Even though it was 3 eliminations out of 4 on Frady, they were able to keep all their players that were knocked alive. So it should be a full reset in here. And even though we're not seeing the map, we can see they were in that circle shift. They pulled hard to the north, T-Max. This south side is going to be that sort of bloodbath and ace of spades. They've already got 4, but they've got their eyes set on these little, I guess I don't even know what you'd call them, rats in the field, just hugging to the hay bales. And this is not something you want to see, because as soon as you get one, this is what you do to
And here comes Ace of Spades. Ace of Spades, they're about to crash here, and they're driving around, see if they could get a run over. No run overs.
Oh, his teammate got it. You know, cleaned them up. I think they still have 1 though for the squad, but we can see it on the right. Their T-Max already. The remaining squads alive. Ace of Spades, 8 eliminations. The closest next one is going to be NRG squad, but they only got 4.
NRG, man, you got to up your game, guys. Come on.
I thought you said there was a lot of game left, T-Mac.
No, that's it, man. That's it. It's becoming a powder keg, man. Everyone's just getting, you know, teams are just dropping like flies right now at this point.
Yeah, we're talking, what is that? 7 teams remaining. 1 squad. X4 still has yet to get an elimination under their belt. I'm not sure how many of these squads actually have 4 players up, other than the Golden Eagles and Ace of Spades. But this is kind of the moment where you look at the eliminations, T-Max, and you compare it to how many players they have alive. And if X-Force has 4 players up, I could see them sponging a lot of the late game eliminations. It's rare to see, but it's still a chance. But if you're down to 1 or 2, you got to kind of just kick the bucket, and you're not doing anything at the end of the game.
Well, yeah, you're not, because this right here, it's pretty much open field. I don't see any hard cover anywhere. Only if you're behind a tree or a bell.
Yeah.
Well, and here comes T Gaming throwing out some nades. Oh my God! Who do we have there? Ace of Spades, XYQ, Alex there.
I think that's just a shack they're out on. Oh my goodness! Yeah, what is that? 3 T-Max or T-Game players just absolutely just.
There goes Ace of Spades, 7.
And look at this AI. They might actually get a free little elimination here if that player gets thirsted by T-Games. T-Max. That elimination does go to the squad. It will not be for the likes of, I believe, what was it, Ace of Spades that had initially knocked him. So that's kind of the tried and true ways. If you're in one of these spots like where Cloudy's at, if you see another squad full sending it, obviously it's your team that is getting wiped in the shack. But imagine it's another team in the shack. You want to start thirsting over getting knocked because you could steal points away. And NRG, you're wondering, you wanted to see something out of them here, T-Max. They're starting to make it rain down with the frag grenades.
Yes, sir. We have NRG 9999, which I believe is 24K, throwing out nades. Esports gets eliminated, 5th place. And that's it for Esports. You were just talking about them. And they're out.
Yeah. I mean, it's all about, you know, how you play these spots. They came into the zone, I think, on that shack, and NRG really was able to just wait them out and say, hey, you know, if you want to slam on the shack, we'll just fully wipe your team. Now we're coming down to it. It's 12 remaining players total in the lobby. 4 teams. Not a mathematician, but some of these squads are going to be missing a few players here, T-Max. And it's really going to come down to how these teams, I believe they'll get into this next rotation pretty easy. It's the one after that, though, in that zone 7 range. That's really going to be that question mark of who's going to get the zone pull, who's going to be able to really play their strong points on these zones. And with you having players 4 up still on NRG, they're still very well able to take this first match of the night.
Yeah, NRG with 8 eliminations, and they're just looking down at Cloudy. They see him. They're connecting shots right now. He's about 40 HP, still shooting at the vehicle. Wonder what Cloudy's gonna do here. What's his move?
I mean, his only play is to try to get in the zone, but we can see it just in the top right. He's still out of the circle. He's got to move in. The vehicle's all gone exploded after all those pull-ups on the shack. He's not going to be able to run it in, I think, at all, but he might be able to squeak away a free placement point here. If T-Games isn't careful, Malcolm still has a teammate alive in zone, but Cloudy is going to get sprayed out through the smokes, I believe, and now the sniper set T-Max on this duo on the hillside. And I'm not sure if Malcolm's even able to help his teammate on the shack here. He's going to be completely isolated out. And this is kind of the thing. You start seeing the nades, the smokes, the mollies, all gets used to perfection. And it just leaves you kind of watching your teammate die. I understand, you know, maybe in ranked play, T-Max, you could be like, hey, you know, like, let's go for the placement. In this, though, you're getting hunted down.
Yeah, you can't do that, man.
Just, they're going for every single point.
Yep, 100%. 100%. Oh, here comes, who's this? Golden Eagles?
Yeah.
NRG's in trouble now. You got to move. Yep, he's on the move. Up on that buggy, trying to find a safe haven for him, because if he stays there, he's going to get cooked.
Well, his teammate, I think, self-mollied in the shack. He ran in on that player, they naded out, and then knocked himself. So Golden Eagles, they were holding that shack, or that compound, excuse me, on that north side. They see that in the elimination feed, and they say, hey, this is our move. We got to aggress on this, and that's why they're going full throttle. They get the first knock as well on an XPS, and it looks like Malcolm, he actually got another player of NRG. So NRG, who was originally a 4-man squad, down to a duo immediately. The solo raining terror just being a thorn in the backside. Unfortunately, he will get eliminated, won't get that elimination point under his belt, but now NRG T-Max, they're on the back foot, and Golden Eagles is looking to pounce.
There it is. Yes, NRG, we are spectating XYZ here. I believe he's the only one that has some kind of hard cover. Yeah. It is 3 of them, though. We have, oh, no, wow. Mozo just knocked NRG 24K.
And look, I mean, look at that spot, man. He has yet to move from the roof. And if you're at this point, NRG, you're just hoping they really just misplay this beyond belief. Maybe try to drive up on you, but with the zone, how it shifted, even if Golden Eagles chooses to wait, that next circle shift afterwards is not going to be in NRG's favor. And NRG actually kind of just took T-Games' original split of 1 in the shack and 1 on the hillside. Is it going to be a question of, does Golden Eagles make the same mistakes? And Biscay, he's kind of making it look like a T-Max. Now it's a 2v3 spot on the hill.
Yeah, he needs to throw some smokes out there, because is he even in zone? Oh, he is in zone. He just got knocked, though. Unfortunate. Unfortunate.
Right as we saw
XYZ Faith, he's trying to do his best. He's the only man up right now for NRG. Golden Eagles are out there hunting.
Oh,
and
man.
Here they come.
The drive up. And I mean, this is going to be the splatter on the wall. Put him on the hood real quick. And you're not even going to be able to damage him while he's in the open. The rest of the team's raining down shots. Pmag's game number 1's concluded. But man, Golden Eagles making it look damn easy. The winner chicken dinner under their belt. Last week, they did not perform that well. This time around, they started off strong on Erangel. And I believe they reached 10, maybe 11 eliminations. We'll have to see, but man, great stuff from that squad.
Yeah, Golden Eagles played it really well. They weren't pushing like very aggressive. They took their times. They rotated. They had off angles. Everything worked out for them to get that winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, and that's always that idea of, you know, these squads come in, and if you've never watched competitive play, it really kind of is the idea of, you know, it's all good in theory crafting, but when you see it executed in a manner like that at the end of the game, NRG, they had 4 players up, but they overextended. One player self-mollied, and it allowed Golden Eagles to really just take the high ground on them. And I was wondering if that was going to be the case earlier on in the game. That kind of seemed to be the tried and true spot for Golden Eagles secured win there. But with there still being 2 games left, T-Max, there's still a lot left for these squads. But Mozo, I believe actually it was even last week for Mozo. He wasn't too crazy, but for this team, we're going to be seeing the MVP, the most valuable player for the squad, T-Max, and it's looking like it's going to be Mambe.
Mambe with 5 elims, 680 damage. Let's go.
Yeah, every elimination, you got to think of it 1 to 200 damage range. And if everyone on that squad had at least 2, maybe even just a single elimination, that's putting them up there in that 10, 11 mark. So having someone like Mambe on the squad, being able to kind of sponge up those eliminations early on, I believe a lot of those were actually just thirsts in the field with how much slamming people were doing. But it can't be just him, of course, T-Max. It's got to be a team effort for the most valuable team for match number 1. That Erangel we just watched. We're going to be looking at it, and I think we both know what it's going to be. Actually, no, it's going to be NRG Galaxy taking it for the most valuable team of that match.
It had 11 eliminations, 1,993 damage.
Wow.
Pretty surprising. I honestly thought it was going to be 0-2.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 0-2, they had those damage marks, but I think the placement comes into play a little bit. But this squad, I mean, I was thinking it was going to be NRG versus the Golden Eagles, the first place versus second place squad. And that's usually how it goes. But I think NRG, maybe just their damage numbers, if we're talking, let's say that's 2,000 damage crusade. Divide that by 4. Each player is dropping 500 damage. But with both of these squads having the eliminations, that means our leaderboard is going to be looking somewhat close. Pulling up right now, T-Mags and Golden Eagles, they're in first, but NRG's chasing right behind them.
Yeah, so Golden Eagles, 21 points. Obviously, they got the winner chicken dinner. NRG, 17. Ace of Spades as well. They were actually cooking at one time.
Yeah.
But they overextended, got eliminated. Fourth place, we got T Gaming. I was gonna say T-Max Gaming. What the heck?
That's your team.
Yeah, pretty much. Hey guys, we'll talk after. Fifth place is 0-2. Sixth place XYQ. Maryland. Hey, doesn't Scottish play for Maryland?
You're asking the wrong person.
Okay.
One, You're asking the wrong guy.
Right, my bad. Yeah. X-Force, 8th place. Super Lazy Reflex, 9th place, which I was expecting them to be top 5 at least.
Yeah.
Shining Legacy, 10th. Infernal Esports, 11th. X Factor, 12th. Dauntless. Come on, Dauntless, bro. I need you guys up there. What's going on, Claus? Come on, give me some love, dude. Inco Gaming as well. Coach Juancho, man, we need you, bro. 14th place and straight out of Nepal, 15. That sums up the first match of the night in Erangel.
Yeah, and if you look at a T-Mags at 3rd place, 4th place, 5th place, even on the leaderboard, Ace of Spades, they only got 1 placement point. They were up there in 3rd off of 10 elimination points. T-Games, even though they had good placement, they were that 3rd place squad to be eliminated. They're right below them. And 0-2, they had those 9 eliminations, even with getting 0 placement points. they're up there with the rest of them. So this leaderboard, even though it's showing, you know, from 1st to 6th, that money range is around 14 points of a spread. All it takes is one solid game and that sort of stuff. And these squads, they're definitely able to do it. And I'm surprised seeing NRG Galaxy, seeing Golden Eagles up here after their sort of horror performance in my eyes from last week, T-Max. But this time around, it looks like they took that effort, they brought it in, and they made it work.
I think the best bet to be playing on these games is to just go out there and frag out.
Yeah, and I mean, fragging out, that's kind of a hard thing because it's easier said than done, right? We're talking it's the best of the best against the best of the best. Our NA teams are going against each other. They've played against each other many, many times, even with, obviously, with the Titan Series qualification games going on throughout the week. We're talking that's 50, 60 games. They're coming in here. Yeah, it's 3 games. Maybe one team just having a better read than the other ones, like 0-2 last week of just, hey, this team's going to do this. We could rotate around. We could fight them. Whatever the decision-making from their IGL is, they're making it look easy. But this time around, I think with these lobbies kind of getting played more and more throughout the week and stuff like that, obviously this is kind of that midpoint for these sort of scrim matches going on for these sort of teams to compete against each other for some quick cash. Today, with it being the Erangel match that started off, these teams really made sure to, hey, we can't have it like last week where one team gets all the eliminations. And thankfully, we saw 2 teams where even if they didn't get the placements, they didn't drop goose eggs because they were able to secure a lot of elimination points. And, you know, you talked about Inko, Dauntless. I believe I saw him with 0 points at the bottom. So the big old goose egg is not something
goose egg, dude. Yeah, big old goose egg, Dauntless, bro. We need you, bro. Come on. You guys have the talent. You guys have the skill. You guys just, you know, you guys just need to execute first, man. Because if you're staying in 1 point at a certain time and you get pushed, that's when it gets hectic, right? Yeah. Most of the time, the pusher is the one that takes care of business. Yeah. Not the one that's sitting there on a goose egg.
Well, what happened was crazy. We saw it at the start, right? They took that fight against 0-2 after 0-2 wiped Strat and Nepal, and they're kind of spread up along that roadside around that farm area. And then we just start seeing them drop like flies. I'm not sure if they even shot. You know, we expect some sort of life out of a team, but if you kind of just roll over, you get 1 elimination on your team over and over again, it just opens up these teams to really have that momentum factor. And a lot of the time, I mean, 0-2, they were the team that had that. Obviously, they got theirs cut short, but imagine if they won just that next team fight. They could have been that squad in that top placements, and then we'd be seeing a repeat of last week. So if you're Inko Gaming, if you're straight on Nepal, we're calling you out right now. We're wanting to say, hey, you need to be like NRG. Get out there, start showing that consistency, and really prove that you've got what it takes. But with it being just match 1, I'm not going to harp on it too much, even though I just did T-Max. We've still got game 2, of course, coming shortly, underway. And with that being said, they're giving me the call for it, T-Max. Match number 1 is going to be done, guys, for the PUBG Mobile Titan Series Pro Scrims watch party. This is day number 2, of course, but don't go anywhere. We've got game 2, Miramar, going to the desert right after break. And welcome back, everyone, to the PUBG Mobile Pro Scrims Titan Series Day 2 watch party. You missed game 1. We saw a dominant performance from the Golden Eagles. I'm Enigma here, of course, with the GOAT T-Mags.
Yo.
T-Mags, give me a breakdown
up?
of that game 1, man.
Yo, game 1, I was super excited watching 0-2, man. They were going ham the first half, and after that, oof, they just disappeared. NRG though, NRG is really known for their end game though.
Yeah.
That's when they pop off. During mid game, they're just rotating their outskirts, and then when it comes to end game, they pop off. Definitely pop off. But yeah, kudos, Golden Eagles. Paka! You guys got the chicken dinner, man. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the chicken dinner, that's what you want, T-Mags, right? I mean, obviously, Thanksgiving's coming up, but I'll take a chicken if someone gets multiple here tonight. And with that being said, of course, these teams, we talked about it earlier on in the day. $4,500 on the line for these teams. First place is walking away with, I believe it was $600. You can quote me if I'm wrong or correct me.
I believe it is $600.
And $100 for MVP. That will be announced afterwards, and make sure you guys are paying attention throughout the match here tonight. We've got a little something special that might pop up on the screen. If you're watching, you guys remember from last week. If not, it will be a new surprise.
What is it?
To say the least. I'm not going to say it yet.
What is it?
No.
Come on, bro.
I got to tell you.
Come on, Enigma.
Okay. You guys are going to have to be watching the games because Amazon code going up $10. Have that Amazon.com/redeem ready in the browser next to you, because when it pops up last time, it was instantly gone from one of the viewers. So make sure you're ready. You've got those fast fingers entering.
Let's go, Jack. Christmas is right around the corner. That Amazon gift card, I mean, will come in handy. Definitely come in handy.
Hey, that's a battle pass right there, you know? That $10, hey, a few extra spins on your favorite box. Maybe you're just short of that new F1 skin for the vehicle.
Ooh,
whatever
F1
works out. And, you know, I kind of hate, you know, to say it, but I remember back in the day, T-Mags, they dropped that Godzilla King Kong set. And I just absolutely just could not get it for the life of me. I got the gun, I got the little outfit. I just could never get the little companion. And then the next day they released the Koenig car skin. Now with that being said, though, T-Mags, we're going into it. We're going to bring it right back up for everyone that maybe missed it at the start. The map rotation, we finished Aaron Gale, Golden Eagles, of course, winning that for match 1. But now we're going to my favorite map, into the desert. Your face planting into the sand, hopefully not a cactus, in those sorts of vehicles, T-Mags. And then afterwards, the final map that might be that true decider of who's going to finish first place tonight is going to be your favorite, Sandhawk.
Yeah, we got Sandhawk last match, but Miramar, hey, it's home away from home, man. That's all season 2 back then. I believe I played with you in Miramar back in the days. Oh,
probably.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, well, everyone did those ranked grind teams, you know, and it was usually Aaron Gale and Miramar as the 2 choices, right? These teams really, and that was the thing back in the day. There was no scrims. It was ranked play as a squad. But with that being said, we've got the lobby set up, T-Mags. They're telling us in the air, it's ready. Miramar, the desert, the cactus, that little bit of water, it's all there for us, ready for game 2.
Yes, Miramar, one of my favorite maps. I mean, I enjoy, you know, the sands of Miramar. Let's check out this fly path. It seems like if it's going up north here. Yep, it is. It's almost half of the map going up north, favoring. Yo, are we going to see a hot drop at Hacienda del Patron?
Hacienda, I think we had 2 teams fighting last time, so I wouldn't put it past us to see it. Now, my whole thing, I think it was also in Puerto. We had 2 teams fighting, X-Force, and I believe it was Ace of Spades. X-Force really getting the short end of that stick. But, you know, with it being a new day, we've had a couple games we played and other stuff over the last few days. They might be feeling themselves this time around, and we can actually see it looks like Maryland's going to be dropping there. So if you're wanting Hacienda, I know you really like Hacienda, T-Mags, but looks like Puerto is going to be that sort of hot spot on the night.
Yep, it seems like it. We got 2 teams landing there, but let me ask you something, Enigma.
Okay.
What's your favorite drop spot here in Miramar?
Oh, Miramar, it has to be water treatment. I played it so
Water
much in
treatment,
scrims. In terms of ranked play, it was always water treatment, and these players, I mean, they sleep on it. The loot,
Oh, there's the code.
T-Mags.
There's the code.
There's
The
the
$10 Amazon gift card code. Make sure you guys redeem that.
Amazon.com/redeem. That's the spot to do it, baby. What is that? 4, 5, and 5, 5, 6, whatever the math is. 15 or so characters. Make sure you're the fastest. That's 10 free bucks for you. Hopefully they're able to get it. I know I'm too slow to do it myself. I'm getting a little old. My fingers are starting to creak when I move them, T-Mag. Hopefully you're not at that point, but getting back to the game, we're seeing Maryland. They took this early fight with Ace of Spades. They were able to finish one player immediately, but Kiddo having this off angle does get the knock, and unfortunately for Maryland,
out too.
yeah, they started off strong with the first elimination, but now they're really struggling to get players up. And this is the whole problem with these early game fights. You're really taking the gamble on what weapons, what utility you have. No helmet for Baby Tang. His teammates got 1 HP, and it's all a matter of who pulls the nade first. He throws it, and the re-knock. Ace of Spades opening it up again. Luckily, Becker getting the trade, but Maryland really trying to just secure themselves at least a few extra eliminations before going out here.
Oh, and we also have another fight brewing as well. We have NRG and X-Force going at it as we see.
Oh, no. This is going to be on the far north side of the map. This is going to be X-Force and NRG. I'm not sure it was, but Alim. Oh, my.
Did connect that.
That's with the hollow, too.
With the hollow. Holy. What's going on here?
Now, Red Eye, or excuse me, T-Max, are you a red dot? No, I was thinking, no. I was going to say, are you a red dot or a hollow?
Red dot, bro.
Red dot.
Red dot. Enigma. Red dot all the way.
I gotta check it, okay? Some people are Iron Sight gamers.
Oh, well, you know what? I only use the AK Iron Sight.
Yep, that's the best one.
Yep.
The cleanest. Now, the nice thing, though, is in all these fights in the buildings, T-Max, they're almost always hitting that hip fire. And just like that, I mean, you catch one player lacking the jump out. Biscay immediately knocked Alem trying to get the thirst, and the jump out again gets another player. While that was going on, Maryland getting full wipe. X-Force though, they're on the back foot. It's just Alem, his teammate, healing upstairs. NRG is still trying to apply pressure, and with the pre-fires going on, it's all about it.
Oh my god.
Oh, the 1v1.
NRG out. 14th place. X-Force dropping down the hammer.
And it was one player that had it all there. T-Max, he has 4 eliminations. That UMP, man, he had the vest, he had the helmet, and he had the right gun for it, getting all 4 players. And that's on NRG. Our favorites probably every single time we see their name come up in these lobbies, just getting put away early in match 2.
That's it, man. I mean, I honestly, I feel that it's caster curse.
Yeah,
it's a caster curse, man. And so, Enigma, what's your go-to weapon?
My go-to, well, it's always got to be an M4 as one. Okay. The M4 is too good. Now, if it was Aaron Gell, the only kind of change-up I'd maybe do would be the DP for long range. The DP used to be my gun in ranked play back in the day. That old creaky iPad mini I used to play on, I'd pull out the DP, and on pull-ups, I could render players through the building. So
now, are we talking about DP 6X?
Yep, DP6X, reduced to the 3. I could use the 4X, but the 6X was always the sleeper, and I would do it full 6 back in the day, because that was before they did the rework on its recoil. But for the most part, when it comes to my loadout, now it's obviously just M4, maybe UMP, maybe the SKS or SLR, the Mini, any of those DMRs. I was never a fan of close range, and that's why kind of my favorite's always been Miramar here. We can actually see the first zone. A lot of teams out of it, but Miramar just has so much terrain and so much, I guess, depth to the map that you're really able to kind of play rotations in that long game. And I'll give him praise again. 2 games in a row, okay? He was a mini 14 believer on this map, and every NA Pro is saying, yeah, you can go keep quacking your beak, whatever. We're not going to believe it. And then we pull up to PMSL Americas, and every Brazilian team is just putting us in the dirt on Miramar with a mini and an M4 as their secondary. So now everyone's starting to use it. I like seeing DMR play here more, T-Mags, but for Miramar, There's always that Mini, that SLR, and then that M4 is a secondary combo.
Copy that. Yeah, I love me Miramar sniping. Like I said, back in the day, R9, AWM. But now we have brand new snipers, right? We we have the DSR, right? Which is we have that one. There's the Mosins.
Yeah.
But
well, the Mosin's kind of like K9, right? That's how I always kind of view it.
Well, I feel that the Mosin's a little bit weaker than the K9.
Oh.
Yeah, and the bullet drop, that Mosin has a massive bullet drop, so you can't really, you gotta aim high all the time. But yeah, my loadout, it's always been AK and M4 until recent. Just changed it up to a UMP or the Bison.
The Bison,
hey, don't sleep on the Bison, my guy. Let me tell you.
Well, were you a fan? You must have been a fan of Ikemi then. When that was in, a lot of people's rank pool. Obviously, it was in competitive, but the Bison was the gun on Miramar. And HH24, he was the firmest believer. Oh, the jump nade. Oh, my goodness. He getting all of them with it. Oh, man. And, I mean, look at they just got dismembered, T-Max. Was that just one guy now? Poppy 3 stages. Running for the hills, I guess. Now that was just, I don't even know if we could call that a fight.
No, that was not a fight. That was a massacre there. Lazy, super lazy reflex. We got Ying over here cooking up, brewing stuff, making some goulash.
Hey, Halloween's over, man. Okay, they're not.
Well,
that's not part of the costume anymore.
No, it's goulash, man. Do you know what goulash is?
No.
It's a type of soup that you just grab everything that's in the fridge and you just brew it, bro. You just put it on the stove and you start cooking it.
Listen, I must have had that every other day then, because my old man used to do that. He's like, hey, we need to free up space, and thank God my mom was one that was good. Okay, that's all I'm saying. That being said, though, I mean, it's not going to be that only fight. T-Max that's going on. X Factor caught on rotation on the end of the zone. A bit of a repeat, that sort of broken record coming back of teams rotating in, getting gate kept. I believe it's against Inferno Esports. They do have the off player off in the compound with the rest of the squad working down the mountain, but it seems like both these teams are really struggling to actually make the steps in, make a move, whether it's going for those sort of eliminations or revives. And with this, I believe this is on the south side towards Los Leones, just outside of the big POI. So both these teams are going to have a lot of loot. Just don't know if they're really going to choose to take this fight or maybe just go on to the next rotation.
Well, we have a Pfizer here coming for the revive. So Colt 77K will get revived, but there is some kind of rotation going on. There's an off angle by can't really see his name. Yep. And Inferno dropping some mollies on X Factor. Stranger gets taken out. Oh my God, that spray. Nothing but headies on that one.
I mean, if you're always hitting it, then might as well go for the headshots. And I was really loving that off angle play because they recognized that uphill player. He gave it up. Inferno Esports says, hey, you're just going to give it to us. We'll take that angle fight. And it forces X Factor to run out of the hillside, coming in forward. And unfortunately for them, they're going to be eliminated again early on. Inferno Esports having those eliminations. Hopefully, we'll be able to get a reset started here soon. I believe Poppy will be fine. Those smokes coming in, but you're able to keep 4 players up here, T-Max. You're able to kind of just eat that blue zone. It's going to take you a bit more time to rotate, but it actually looks like he's not going to get the reset.
Straight on the Paul, it's straight out pushing him.
Oh, man.
And Chills is really low. He needs to go ahead and
pop
that mid. Yep.
Don't. Oh, he got it off, but it looks like he's already getting shot at. Mayom's finding the angle from downtown. Chills going to be the next player knocked. And now with it being that 4-man wipe with the aggression from straight out on Nepal, they're able to reduce their numbers to just 2 players. And You being at kind of this hillside X Factor, they got squished here, and now Inferno Esports, it's the exact same situation. And I mean, look at this, they're just straight up pulling up. You have no chance of even getting a shot off, not even looking at them. 3-4 eliminations straight on a Paul. 0 to 100 from game 1 to game 2. Miramar's feeling it.
Miramar is feeling it. Straight on Nepal, executed that correctly, came in with the third party, knowing that they were hurt. Inferno was down, and they just came in and took care of business.
Take care of business. See, I don't know if a lot of people have heard that song. Have you heard it? You've definitely heard that song.
I don't know, man.
What?
I don't know, man.
Am I old now?
No,
come on.
You are showing age, bro. You are showing age. Singing that song.
My hair giving out? Is that it? Is it thinning?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Trying to get senile out here or something. I don't know. And it's crazy because back in the day, that would be the running joke, right? If you were like an older player like me and you were playing the game, I would make a call out, or like, oh, I heard a player. I'd be like, are you hearing stuff again? You know, like, is your age getting to you? And the one time I was in a tournament and I made that call out, they were all doubting me. And it happened to be true. It was a Sandhawk game where I was like, I think I just heard a guy ratting us on this rock. And they're like, nah, you're just hearing stuff. And then they all get shot at because they're still going to look towards it. And then we get the knock and make it. But it's one of those things, Team Max. You're making me feel way too old right now with these comments going on.
Well, I'm actually pretty good at that because I feel that I'm twice your age.
Oh, man. Come on. You're not a day over 25. Okay?
I wish.
Listen, but Red Eyes, though, he's up there. He's up there, baby. He's not even here to defend himself. I feel bad saying that, though.
I don't know. It might be in chat, though.
Red Eyes, we here? I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm doubling down on it.
Oh, we see Coops over there going ham.
Yeah, that was
yeah, Coops just took out T Games.
That was the squad that was down to just a solo, right? So
I believe so. Yeah, that was the last player.
Dallas has 3 elims though, so they got 2 more along the way somewhere. Maybe they were able to piece it together a little bit for him. But that's the player you wanted to see. I also saw before we swapped off of them, Brinko Gaming Juancho's in the lobby now tonight.
Ooh,
so
there's the F1 vehicle skin.
You know, they just finished that out here. I live real close to that track, and man, the F1, the cars, the track, that whole entire experience is so sweet. And Pubg Mobile, I mean, they do a collab with so many cool things. We're talking, you know, Koenig skin, the Tesla models, now the F1 cars.
Bugattis.
Yeah, Godzilla. I mean, everything under this. Goku. Like, come on. You can't be hype off that.
Yeah, this is true. Pubg Mobile does have a lot of great collaborations. One of my favorite ones, like you said, it's Dragon Ball Super. It's amazing how they have those skins on there, and now there's a lot more anime coming in, right?
Yeah. Well, they've obviously, you know, they've got some sort of schedule going out. Probably got stuff filled out for the whole next year for any of that regard. And I wish we'd see some players rock it. Now, when it comes to competitive gameplay, when it comes to tournaments, T-Max, you're actually gifted from Pubg Mobile a competitive outfit for you to wear, because back in the day, Zfong used to wear that diamond print. Pyra on C9 used to wear a corn outfit. You used to be able to recognize teams solely off of outfits. Now, mine was the Yeti, which everyone hated me about was on my team because it's so big and, you know, white and it's got the blue feet. But now, with it being competitive, they got the vague elimination info where you don't know which team you're against until you actually eliminate a player on that squad or see it elsewhere on the map. With that being the outfits too, it's almost impossible to recognize a team unless you're solely looking out for them in those first 2 zones. And obviously with this, it's not going to be as crazy official. These players all rock their own outfits. They usually like having that individuality, but with that being said, when it comes to these later zones, you still don't know where these teams are going to be at. And Golden Eagles, even though they were down 2, it kind of reaps to what I just said, T-Max. They were able to get 1 free elimination onto, I believe it was X-Force there. So being a thorn in people's sides, kind of the name of the game now.
Yeah, I was seeing Coops going ham right now, taking out some players from the Shining Legacy. I wonder where that fight's happening.
It seems like a lot of stuff's kind of going down. Actually, it looks like, again, that's not Coops. That's Foops there for 0-2.
That's 0-2.
At 0-2, but they're getting themselves up on the eliminations again. They're just at 1 right now, but with the knocks, you're definitely expecting them to take the fight. Yeah, I mean, Dauntless, that's it. And they actually wiped SLR. So Klaus getting the 2-piece on SLR. Tian being the last player of that team, losing the 1v1, it seems. Not going together. And now Inco Gaming, we can see it as well. A lot of these teams, they took elimination, these fights right at the same time, and they all got eliminated out of the lobby right at the same point.
Yeah, we're down to what, 8 teams, 23 players. We're checking out Coach Juancho. Juancho's looking out, see if he could get some more points. They currently have 1 elimination, and they seem like they're about to fight straight out of Nepal.
Well, the hard thing is, straight out of Nepal is in that compound, right? And it's always a trouble of pulling up, especially with Rush being eliminated for Inco Gaming. They're down to a trio, so you're always at that man disadvantage. And Inco actually looked like they were almost getting pulled up on by a team behind them on that hillside. We see it just to their west side, making Inco kind of decide, hey, are we going to be able to rotate in? But if the back buggy tire gets shot out, it's going to be tough for at least one player to get in.
That's what just happened.
Yeah, I think they're just hoping that they're able to get into Monty Nuevo. Yeah, not even. Just
done with the knock. But 8R took the elimination. Hold that.
Thank you very much. That's released. Thank you very much. You take those to the bank. Especially if there's that $600 on the line. XYQ, unfortunately. Or fortunately for them, gonna get that point. 0-2, gonna keep fighting. Inco Gaming, though, Juancho actually full eliminated off of the vehicle explosion, I believe. So they're down to, I think, just a solo Gary holding that compound. And 0-2, they chose to sit just nice and pretty up here on this hillside. They weren't stressing, even though the zone's starting to shift off of them. They're starting to get those points, and they made that mistake last game of continually going and looking for fights. This time around, with Miramar, they're playing a lot more passive, and I'm really enjoying it because when it's these city finishes, you need every sort of player, because your favorite thing to see T-Max, that utility usage, that nade usage, it comes into full effect in these POIs.
Yeah, 100%, man. When those nades, like I said, when those nades hit, man, when they're cooked perfectly, there's no other feeling. Oh, I love it, man.
But Coops is, well, you see that on the top. Can you read that number in the top left there? What is Coops' elimination count?
What? Coops with 7 eliminations.
Oh, man.
Man's cooking. Finally. Finally. We got Blinky here cooking up a nade, trying to get claws on this beautiful F1 vehicle, but he's out, man. He's out.
Yeah, maybe not pit stop right next to a team. You don't want to be given a free opening knock. XYQ getting shots down from across the street. Those 2-story buildings really raining in shots, but Coops, he's not even stopping. He's going straight through, eliminating Ace of Spades. That's going to be 8 under his belt for 10 total eliminations on the squad. The last team we saw this was 0-2 in that last match. They got eliminated immediately after not even getting a placement, but this time around, Dauntless, they're looking to secure themselves even more placement points, even more eliminations. And I mean, if you're hitting shots like that, yeah, you're down to 1 HP, but you're really putting the fear into God for some of these teams. And especially if you're seeing Coops' name go over and over T-Max, he's got to be feeling hot.
He has to be on fire right now. But looking at Claus, man had no best. No best. Coops connected shots, and I told him, hey, man, that vest that you're wearing, I don't like it, man. I'm gonna take it off you.
It's the wrong color. It should have been mine, not him.
Yeah.
For it, the level 3 or whatever he had before. And I mean, look at this. Now, I gotta get your opinion on this, T-Max, because
talk to me.
You're talking about using the sniper and stuff like that. This is where I'd like to see the sniper. The only tragic thing is you're kind of just wasting the armor and the vest here. Klaus, obviously, they got 10 eliminations, so his vest is going to be destroyed. But, oops, man, I mean, I don't agree with people peeking here. Hot Jukes is such a big believer in, if you're in these areas and you're not able to get the eliminations onto, let's say, Dauntless if you're 0-2, why even bother taking the shots? You feel it's just, you know, pad the stats, it's worth it, or you think it should be a little bit more of a safe haven spot for this team?
Honestly, I'm there with you, man. Having a long distance fight, I mean,
That leads to nothing. That leads to nothing.
Yeah, exactly. You know, the only thing that you get from that is damage, and probably a broken vest or a broken helmet. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you get a knock, are you gonna push that? No, right? Because you don't know where the other players' teammates are.
Yeah.
You can't push that. You can't push that.
One thing though we're seeing is with these zones congesting down, it's going to be centered right on this crossroads of Monte Nuevo. That sort of bowl right below 0-2 is going to be in play. The hillside across the streets, those crossroads, all those dips there are going to be in T-Mags. And with there being 7 teams, there's still a good amount of space left for these squads to play. But in this next stage 7, stage 8 even, we're going to see a lot of these teams forced to take these fights, and that's where these vest discussions come in, chat, of if you don't have it, you're having to run through the smoke, even if it's from a UMP from long range. That's going to knock you almost instantly, but someone that's not going to be wasting space here. T-Max 0-2 trying to flush out the solo of Inco Gaming. Gary does get one on the pre-nade bounce. The cook Pro though has the S12 trying to apply the pressure, but 0-2, they're kind of playing this a little too slow. T-Max, he might be able to get a thirst here, and oh man,
Capri is so low with that nade.
Bounce, I mean, he actually went down the stairs. 0-2 is just playing this way too passive right now, and another nade, no, doesn't connect with Gary. He's going forward.
The push, and Crow did connect with the S12K. Now that's one of the shotguns that I use.
Yeah,
the S12K.
It's not as good as the DBS, but a shotgun's a shotgun, okay? It should be doing that 9 out of 10 times. Of one in the chest, you're down in the dirt. So unfortunately, Inco Gaming, they're going to be the squad that's out now, down to just top 6 teams. But with the zone closing, it's still going to be that question mark of who's really going to maybe be able to get pod shots. Are you able to maybe span your wings a little bit and take a little bit more in the zone when it comes to this late game? Because we've seen it a lot of these teams, especially if you watch old school PUBG Mobile comp. A big thing was holding a lot of real estate, and with these late game spots, especially in this sort of Miramar, Monte Nuevo POI, you don't want to be the team on the road, because that's going to be flat, you're going to get naded, and you're not wanting to deal with any of that pressure whatsoever. And Dauntless, they're needing to make sure, especially with those vehicles, that F1 car, all the tires are screwed on correctly, not popped whatsoever, because T-Mags, they've got 30 seconds left. Every team's worried about where the circle shift's going to go.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough rotation, and it's going to be even tougher for Dauntless if they have to go across the street.
Oh yeah,
we have multiple teams waiting for them. They're just looking at them like a big target right now, big target on their head. Now, out of the 6 teams that we currently have right now, who do you have?
Who am I looking at?
Who are you looking at? Talk to me, Enigma.
I'm looking at 0-2, baby. They're on that south side. They made quick work of Inco when they were driving in, and they won last week's games and the MVP stuff. So 0-2, I got high expectations for them. We see the zone shift as well. I believe there's enough space for Dauntless maybe to play if they choose to stay on that side, but with it being smaller and smaller, 0-2, they're one of the only teams that they were playing the mountainside. They get to come in for free because this whole north side is too congested.
Golden Eagles connecting some shots on Aleem from X-Force. This is a pretty risky play for them as they're coming in, but they did get some hard cover, so that's a plus. Now, straight out of Nepal, they're out of zone. They're gonna need to crash Dauntless.
Yeah, I mean, do you even want to crash Dauntless? I mean,
do they know that that's Dauntless though? Do they know that that's Dauntless? I don't think so.
I don't think they know, but as soon as they get one knocked, they're gonna go, and they're not even going for Dauntless. It's XYQ on the
XYQ.
That's actually 2 players, but you're not even gonna make it. Everyone's dropping like flies. It's just, I think,
that was 0-2. They got the knock and the elim.
Yeah, look, they're just full sending it too. They're not
XYQ got eliminated.
No, I was gonna say that is my team, and then I saw they were a duo, and I saw the smokes, and I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be it for it. But
You seen the
SON,
percentage, huh?
yeah.
Yeah, you seen the percentage. You're like,
Calculated
it's
it.
a duel. I don't know.
It's not, those names aren't the ones getting the numbers in their favor. Let's say that. But look at this. I mean, look at this. T-Max, not only is it 0-2 pushing up off of this fight, Dauntless crossed the road. So we might actually see our kind of two picked teams battling it out for these elims. And it might honestly go to any of those other teams ratting it out. Both these squads need to be careful. There's still too many unknowns left in this lobby for you to be playing like this.
Yeah. Straight out of Nepal, they're pretty much pinched between Dauntless and 0-2. So we'll see what happens here. Trolls just knocked Claws.
Eliminated. He's out. That's the 4-man into the 3-man. It's just way too much. And for the most part, you're not going to miss it here, T-Max. Of course, again, another code up for you guys, Amazon.com/redeem. That $10 is up for grabs. Make sure those fingers were quick and ready. Make sure there's one, I believe, as well on Sandhawk, but get this one going right now. You don't want to miss it. That's the Battle Pass. That could be your F1 skin for you in the lobby.
$10. Amazon gift card. Let's go. Type that in, chat. Let's go. Claim it.
I always love Amazon. So simple and easy. You just redeem the code and it's easy.
Dude, you don't need to go anywhere. You can just buy yourself there.
Well, that's Pubg Mobile in a sense. I can play it anytime, anywhere. And that's why every day is a good day if there's Pubg Mobile involved.
Every day. That's the reason why I started playing Pubg Mobile.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. I played console for a long time, and it got to the point that you get married, you start having kids, you have no time. So I had a device. Pubg Mobile came out. I downloaded it and never looked back, man. Never. Now,
did you start doing content yourself, or did you maybe see maybe someone like PB, or just kind of like recommended to maybe start content? Because I always like asking these. The stories are always so unique to every person of why either the username or the content story. It's always different.
Honestly, ever since I was playing console, I would be watching content. But yeah, one of the first content creators that I would see or watch was Powerbang.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Powerbang on Facebook.
Facebook, man, that's really back in the day.
That's it. I'm telling you, man.
Really,
I'm telling you, man. I'm showing my age, my guy.
Oh man. Don't ask for our hairlines, chat. It's not going to be pretty. No, I mean Powerbang, baby. I mean, even he even does those VIP event things, and just the amount of effort that Powerbang puts in just really just shows the length and the effort that everyone really puts into the game. And none of this would even be a thing without all of you guys watching. Yeah, with all of you guys watching, this would not be a thing, whether it's comp, whether it's content itself. It's you guys coming in, and it's everyone's love for the game. And you can't ask for anything more than that. But we're going to have to get back into this game real quick, T-Max. We're talking final zone. It's shrinking to nothingness. I don't know how many ranked games you've played, but when it comes to Miramar, everyone's going to be waiting, and you're hoping you're at the center. And look at that. I mean, 0-2. There's a team out. Straight and Paul is eliminated. Everyone's trying to run from Papa Blue because he's got the highest KD in every lobby, T-Max. You got to make sure you're getting in, and everyone's making moves now.
Papa Blue, man. One of the worst guys. I hate that guy, man.
Oh, man.
I hate that guy. But yeah, we do have a knock. And he got thirsted.
Yeah.
X-Force Aleem is out of the game. We have four teams left, and here comes another knock.
At Coops, 9 eliminations. He got a nade knock himself. Baton knocked to the blue zone. No point awarded to Dauntless. But if he's just laying it down on the heads, Coops, another nade knock, finding it together. Looks like Capri's was revived. His first initial nade. I think it's confirmation this time, though. 12 total eliminations. Just a one-man army right now. 4 teams still remaining, T-Mags. And with these teams, It's starting to still go to nothingness. It's your upstairs, you're downstairs, you're behind the wall. The pre-fires, they'll start connecting. You're going to hope it's not you, but the nade lands.
Oops, just ate a nade, but 0-2 is out on 4th place.
Oh, man. And look at this. Now it's just the two of them. XP3, he's low. The blue zone could maybe knock him if he doesn't get in. Gets the heal off, trying to find himself in, and I think it's closing on his building, but Rose, he's the last player's teammate. Knocked the pop of blue. Everyone else is upstairs. Oh, no, and it's going to be a stair fight. 1v2 spot. Actually, a 1v1v1. There's two different teams up there. They forced the fight, and now he's running out Rose. Trying to play the zone to jump out. And Golden Eagles.
The end game, Golden Eagles.
The back-to-back. The two, it's got to be the sound. The winner,
chicken dinner.
That's what you like to see. The two-time. We'll call him the two-time.
The two-time.
The back-to-back, baby. And I mean, I don't know what the heck happened for these teams. We were talking Dauntless was 4-man. 0-2 was 4-man. It somehow got down to a 1v1v1. And I mean, it just the Golden Eagles just swoop in and they're looking golden with the chicken.
They're dude, their end game, they're executing, they're playing the way that it should be played, and it's phenomenal how they're just executing the everything. I mean, everything's falling in place for them.
Hey, the feathers are perfect, but the MVP, man, we saw a lot of names up there. Whether it was Golden Eagles, whether it was 0-2, whether it was Dauntless, and of course, I think everyone's the no surprise is going to be Coops as the MVP. 11 eliminations, 1,200 damage, and just imagine, T-Max, if Coops didn't run on the nade, if that nade didn't bounce off the windowsill perfectly, if he was alive, he could have made that number even more with such of a dominant performance he had. Coops, man, we missed in game one. This game, he showed up right on time.
He showed up right on time, and he showed up with authority, man. With 11 eliminations and, like you said, 1,200 damage.
Oh.
I mean, this guy was going ham.
Ham. He's going chicken. Nah, I like ham more. He's going ham. But with that being said, though, of course, T-Max, it's not just one player. We got to look at the most valuable team in that Miramar match for it. We're going to be seeing it right now. And it's looking, yep, Dauntless. 14 total eliminations, 2,200 damage. And with Coops, he had what? 11 out of 14, 1,200 out of 2,200 damage. Yeah, you know, I like to say that maybe it's a team effort, but if you got Coops doing stuff like that, he's definitely putting them in the backpack.
Yeah, man's cooking, man. He flipped the switch, man, and he just said, you know what? It's time. I love me Miramar, and this is my map, and I'm going to execute the way that I should.
And I mean, there's also still that most valuable player over the day. But with that being said, we really want to know what the leaderboard is going to be looking like after that game two. We saw Golden Eagles. They were popping off. Yeah, they're going to be in first place, 19 eliminations with 20 placement points, 10 plus 10. It makes it easy. I'm not a mathematician, but 39 total points for the Golden Eagles. 0-2. They had those eliminations again. They got a few placements, but not that pop-off performance like we saw in the first week. NRG, Ace of Spades, they were able to hold on, but the big move up in terms of the leaderboard is going to be that Dauntless spot, T-Max in 5th place.
Yeah, I mean, 14 eliminations, like we talked about earlier, right? On these games right here, you got to get some eliminations, man. If you place, I don't know, 7th, but you got you got your 15 kills, you're gonna get 15 points, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's only 1 or 2 placements if you're in that 7-8 range, but I want to say they were in 3rd or 4th. Maybe we'll have to get the stat check on that, hopefully. But no, I mean, for these teams, man, with it being that sort of game 2 done, T-Max, Golden Eagles, they've got their cushion to at least stay in top 6, in my opinion. But the rest of these teams, man, if you're wanting to finish 2nd, if you're wanting to have your teammate being MVP for the day to get that extra 100, your competition, you're looking at Dunks, you're looking at Coops in that regard. And hopefully for these squads, they're able to really go into that Sandhawk game that's next and really kind of digest what's going to be going down, because if you're on that $600, you got to make sure you perform this last game.
X Factor. What's going on, X Factor?
Oh no.
We need you, bro. Calling you guys out, man. You guys gotta get some elims, bro. Let's go.
Hey, I mean, it's scrims. It's not the official stuff. There is money on the line, though, which is why we expect something. But the eliminations, man, I mean, get on the board. You got to piece 2 and 2
Look,
together.
I understand if they're trying to do new things, right?
Yeah.
But come on. We know that they could play.
Yeah.
We've seen them play before.
Yeah. You see you show up, and you shoot your gun 1,000 times, maybe 1,000,000 times. I'm not sure. I'd calculated the numbers at one point. What, maybe the professional players back in the day I'd played. I can't even imagine thinking of it now, with an extra year or 2 of play these players having. But X Factor, man, I mean, I guess it's labeled scrims, but we've got the prize pool stuff, in terms of what you're really competing for tonight. We're actually going to pull it up real quick for you guys to do the breakdown. Obviously, first place is going to be the eye of the prize, $600 to your name if you finish after Sandhawk in first. But everything afterward, T-Max, is still a good chunk of change. My eyes really going to be set on that first through third place positioning, as well as what that MVP is going to be looking like at the end of the day.
Yeah, the MVP is going to be tough, man. I mean, we'll see who gets it, but Inco Gaming's another team that I thought that they were going to be up there, and they're what, 14th place?
Yeah, they you got to crane your neck down, and I mean, with us being old, I kind of just like looking at the top, I'll say it like that. But for these teams right now, it's, I like the Birds and stuff like that. The Golden Eagles, there used to be the Zombie Boys and stuff like that. There was a lot of really cool names, in my opinion. But with that being said, though, of course, T-Max, game number 2 is down. Miramar's sand is completely swept away. Don't go anywhere, guys. So, of course, we got one more game to crown who's going to get that $600 tonight. We'll be back right after the break.
A lot of money.
And welcome back, everyone, for the final portion of the PUBG Mobile Titan Series Pro Scrims watch party. We've already completed 2 out of the 3 matches here tonight. Aaron Gill with the Golden Eagles in first place. Second game, excuse me. It's going to be a repeat. The Golden Eagles back-to-back wins. It came down to that crazy 1v1 T-Mags. You were getting all hyped up for it. But Sandhawk, man, the rumble in the jungle is what we're all expecting to see here in the final match.
We're going to Sandhawk, man. The beautiful green foliage out there. Hopefully we see some Ruins hot drop. Ruins hot drop is top notch.
You must have watched Americas then, because that whole ordeal with like the first 3 weeks or something was 2 NA teams dropping on each other in Ruins.
Yeah,
that was the whole thing.
Who was it? It was Inco and X Factor, I believe. They were constantly dropping there, and it just made Sandhawk that much better. Why?
Yeah,
because there was a fight right off the bat.
Well, you know, there's always that downtime that we like to say when it comes. We'll pull up the map order again for you guys real quick if you're just tuning in. Erangel, Miramar, those first 5-10 minutes, it's all loot simulated, right? You know, we're not playing Metro out here. We're gonna get into the zone at some point when it gets later on in the match. But Sandhawk, it doesn't matter if you land on each other, if you land next to each other. The map is so small that you're forced to take engagements early on, and I'm all for it with you. When it comes to teams forcing these POI hot drops, the viewers enjoy it. It kind of creates this rivalry, because fighting off drop, you're kind of spitting in someone's face of, we're better than you. We're going to take this no matter what loot we get. We think we're going to come out on top. And for the most part, unfortunately, Inco Gaming got that shorter end of the stick in Americas. They got a few ones back, but unfortunately, we like seeing that with the top teams, right? T-Max. We don't like seeing it with the lower end, and unfortunately, NA, we're at the bottom of those 8 teams in terms of that bottom 8 for PMSL Americas. But this time around, it's the Titan Series Premier Teams. It's coming into the Sandhawk. This is the best of the best NA squads here tonight, and they're telling us right now, baby, the rumble in the jungle, that plane's coming in hot.
And it is. And there we go. We have our map. We got our fly path going from Lakawi all the way to Hatin. Now, this is going to be crazy. How many teams are going to be dropping at boot camp? That's a question.
I'm saying 3. Come on. It's the
3
last
teams?
game of the day. I'm saying
know,
it's 3.
man.
It's got to be a lot, okay? I'm expecting the fights off drop.
I don't know, man. These Sandhawk's POIs are on a different level. I mean, we have Paradise Resort, we have boot camp, we have Ruins. I'm curious as to how many teams are going to Paradise. Currently, I'm just seeing one. XYQ is gonna go ahead and land there, and they'll be there by themselves. They're gonna be grabbing some loot. But we do have 2 teams landing at boot camp. Hopefully, we get some action there right off the bat.
Yeah, the crazy thing too is a lot of those teams really just opt to take the 4v4 in the lobster, is what we like to call it in competitive, that main building, because arms on the side and stuff like that. But when you start seeing teams vary from taking the outside and the inside part, teams used to love doing 4v4s on Sandhawk. That was really to work on team synergy and stuff like that. And now with the addition to WoW rooms over the last few months, these professional players have really started making tried and true of practicing some of these engagements. And you're wondering what was going on. This is going to be Ruins, but it's not going to be Inco Gaming. It's going to be NRG versus, I believe, Maryland. NRG, they have a few eliminations from that first game. The second one got a few more as well, but Maryland's the team that's needing it. The shotgun, he's making it look easy with that.
Yeah, Bisk with the DBS did get a knock. He does have a level 1 vest though, which is pretty scary to say the least. But yeah, it's a 2v3 right now. They just got the revive. Maryland did reset.
Oh, he guessed wrong.
Yeah, he got dropped from the backside. Only 1 player left for NRG.
He's not even going to get the 1v1. The pump shotgun's not going to be the case. Maryland eliminating NRG. That's one of those squads in that top 8 range, that top 6 money placement. You going out this early, T-Max, might have costed you 50, 60, even $100 to your name. So we'll have to wait and see for the end of the night. But this is a big come up for Maryland. I believe they kept all 4 players, so 4 points on the board is at least a start. It usually comes down to if you can get the placements and eliminations to really make such a drastic change up into the leaderboard. But the other teams wait. We actually see as well, X Factor. We thought they were going to drop Ruins. They went boot camp, and one of their players has 4 eliminations to their name.
Yeah, he obviously squad wipe. Not sure what team landed with him, but he put in some work. He put in some work. And right here we have Valak, a good old friend, Pubg Mobile VIP. He's looking down at X-Force Aleem.
Now, he's played with 3-point a lot in the last year or so. One of his constant teammates he's kind of played with and for the most part, but Valak, I think, kind of didn't realize that Alem hurt him. Now they're starting to really kind of just overstack the rock and the nade. It rains down on him. And
here we go. Utilities.
This is the scary thing. His teammate, they know there's 2 players there. If there's any more frag grenades, it's honestly just a free secondary knock. But you can see X-Force, they're trying to really fan out on this hillside, really prevent this revive from going on. And XYQ now, they were laying in wait in the darkness of the jungle. Now they're the ones on the timer, forced to either push back, push forward into Alem and free point, or just wait for X-Force to rotate around them. But with this being around Paradise, you wanted to see boot camp. We didn't get to see that. We saw Ruins instead, and now Paradise is going to be the next point. So Sandhawk really keeping true to these early engagements tonight.
Yeah, we got Klausler here getting shot from afar. Not sure who it was, but he did have high ground and decided to say, no, this ain't for me, man. I'm gonna jump off.
Hey, game 1, it worked out for the Golden Eagles. This game, nah, we'll Klaus, yeah, I'm not gonna take my chances. We'll run away. Like X-Force, they got another knock. Someone different from Valak. They actually looked like they baited the run back. Valak really trying to play mind games here. Leave the IGL for this squad. Seeing if X-Force gets a little too overeager. The problem is he has to get a knock and elimination from this spot. He cannot go down with just one if it's not a trade.
Oh, we have an outlier. Bebe with the outlier. Yeah, he was out in the distance and was able to thirst.
Oh, man.
Valak, unfortunately.
Yeah, well, it looks like, I think that's another team behind them maybe, or at least they caught out a player from XYQ possibly, but this isn't going to be the only spot that action's going to go on. It looks like Coops again starting off strong with another knock, maybe even elimination of the name. And actually, yeah, it looks like instead of it being X-Force rotating around, Inco Gaming's going to put a stop to them. XYQ,
this is it. This is Sandhawk, man. You know, third party after third party.
What is this? We're not even 6 minutes in, and we're down to 49 players. We started this with what, 60?
Yeah.
They're dropping like flies.
They're dropping like flies. Coach Juancho with the rotation, trying to see if he could find any enemies, which he's actually pretty close to XYQ. He heard the shots. He's gonna start rotating that way. He's gonna take a peek. Maybe he could find one or two.
Yeah, I think if you're XYQ, you might take the chance of just ratting in the compound, even though you're down to a 100%. Trio. Yeah, even though you're down to a trio, I think it's a matter of maybe you think, hey, it's just this one squad here, and XYQ rotated in, you just get free 2 or 3 knocks. But Dauntless, they were holding this bridge camp on the T games. They were expecting those free knocks, but the nades, and the bounce off of it. Don't hit the horse.
Don't hit the horse.
Please.
Anything but the horse.
Dauntless, though, they're on the back foot. It looks like Coops holding an off angle. There's a reset coming in, making it a still 3v2 situation. The games are trying to assemble the force. Power Rangers trying to drive in, maybe to the bridge, but it took a little bit too long, T-Mags. Their teammates going to be knocked and thirsted. Just going to be the duo on the buggy, and I'd still be worried with them on the bridge. They still could take shots, but doesn't seem to be the case. T-Games, unfortunately, going to have to tuck their tails and run. 2 players left to their name, and Dauntless, it was looking a little scary there in my mind. Fortunately for them, they're able to keep 4 players up, and now with them, I believe on the right, 2 eliminations to their name.
Yeah, it was very unfortunate for T Games. They decided to possibly cross the bridge while getting bridge camped by Dauntless, and not sure if you've seen, but Coops had an off angle there. He was an outlier. He was waiting for the rest of the team to push, and you know, Coops was just gonna start beaming. But we're back at Paradise. We have Inco Gaming all by themselves. I don't see no one near, but Gary is shooting down some shots, maybe some pop shots, trying to scare people away. Claiming Paradise for themselves.
The Lions Pride Rock or something. I didn't know the Lions could get on roofs like that, you know, but I mean, I guess Gary makes it work. Now, I was going to say, you know, Coops was doing Coops thing, but I'm needing to see Juancho doing Juancho things.
Yeah, we need Juancho, man. Juancho, where you at,
the
bro?
Juancho effect.
Come on, Juancho. We need you, bro.
You know, I feel bad because if they get wiped, then it is going to be Caster Curse, and we've done that, what, like 4 times tonight?
Oh, don't say that, man. Don't say that.
Come on. If you do it as much as me and you watch the games, you can see it in real time, and then you just see it fall apart. And you just gotta get used to it. It's part of the deal here, T-Mags. You watch the games, you say, I really enjoy this team, yeah, and then they go out first every game. That's the deal with the devil you gotta do for PUBG Mobile.
Oh no. Yeah, good old Caster Curse. What do we have here? We have
Inferno
Esports, huh?
Yeah.
And he has a DBS. Yo, he's rocking a level 1 vest. Shining Galaxy Zion is rocking a level 1 vest, and it's not a new one. Yeah. If we're looking at it, this thing's already damaged. He probably picked it up from a secondhand store.
Wait, this guy doesn't even have a vest, T-Max. Wait, oh no.
What's going on here? Are they not looting?
I mean, they must be smelling the roses or something. Maybe the vines got him, but Inferno Esports definitely knows he's here. Vehicle pull-up, though, is actually going to be across the street. They should have honestly just stacked this and looked for the engagement, but Shining Legacy having so much of this time in play. They have a teammate move up, but
Maryland with the third party.
From Narnia coming in hot. Oh, looks like they got the retrade, though, but the problem is Shining Legacy is the one out of the compound other than Zane, so he's got to kind of just watch and hope his teammates can come through. We see Inferno Esports as well. Frag grenades, they're starting to get cooked up. They know the rock's the only spot they could be at, and yeah, I mean, it's either the nade or the M4 getting you another player down. Shining Legacy last week, they actually won game number 1 afterwards. Miramar and Sandhawk, they essentially dropped a big old goose egg. This week, they're essentially doing the same, but for all 3 matches. So the squad, they had a really prime spot in the real estate if they were able to just play it right, but all these players, T-Mags, are kind of getting put into the dirt early on this one.
Yeah, this is Sandhawk in a nutshell, man. I mean, it's constant battling back and forth, but there goes the knock on Zine. He gets knocked by who other than? Who was it?
I think it was Inferno, because they shot the door down. And then Maryland got a re-knock, I think, on another player.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's so much going on right now with the third parties. There's another fight as well. We got game. Oh, this is a push.
Oh man,
this is the push.
I'm liking
it though. Inferno.
He's got the smoke. He's got the shotgun, but it's a matter if they run in for you, if they choose to nade you out. But looks like Inferno Esports, they're getting pieced apart by Golden Eagles. But Vortex, he can't run in the ball.
What are you doing?
Oh, he's alive!
What?
Oh, man. Gets the heal off, too. Look at this. Inferno Esports, they sent so many people. They drove up!
Oh, he shot at the wrong one. He shot at the knocked one. Shining Legacy out in 13th place.
Oh, no. Now, T-Games, they had the fight early on with Dauntless, and then they run into the other full aggressive team, 0-2. One player knocked as well, and Baton, yeah, they understand completely what's going on. They're going straight into it, but if you want to go into something T-Max, we're going to be bringing it right back, baby. $10 Amazon gift card code, amazon.com/redeem. We've done a few tonight. This game, no exception, of course. Make sure to get that $10, whether it's a skin in, whether you need to make that name change from your awkward username back in the day, or getting one of those companions with you, that's an easy way of doing it, baby.
That's it, man. Amazon $10 gift card. Make sure you guys get that code in.
Now, you must have always used Max, because I was going to ask you, did you have any cringe usernames? I had usernames that I hate even thinking of back in the day when I was younger.
And so there was one time that I changed my name, maybe for, I don't know, a couple months. I changed it to Trusty.
Trusty. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know about that one.
No, I know. I was just bored. I'm like, you know what, dude? I'm just gonna change my name. You know, so people won't know me.
Hey, but I mean, oh wait.
Yo, look at this horse. This horse is gonna climb that. No way.
Horse goat.
No way. No way.
Oh, come on. See, he's telling. I think his teammate's trying to tell him, hey, bro, you got to jump on this right side and then the left. You know, you can't get on that mountain. That is a thing.
That is a thing.
That is a thing. If you guys don't know, yeah, you can get up at least to that left section by hand. You don't need a vehicle, but if you want to get to the very top, you need a whip.
Well, they're trying.
And Klaus ain't making it look that good. Fortunately, that's the case. But it's crazy because I remember I completely forgot about it. But now that we've seen the horse, Sandhawk was the only map in these that has a horse. And I don't know, horses were in the jungle, but you know, remember when PUBG Mobile had those dinosaurs as an event? Oh man, yeah. Those things were flipping so funny to see a T-Rex chasing you. That was the best. That
was fun. Yeah, we had a T-Rex, pterodactyl, and what was the other one?
Like a triceratops or something.
Yeah, that other one would climb mountains like no other, man.
Oh yeah. Well, the nice thing is, since they did the pterodactyl, they also did that underwater event where you would get like the flying like manta ray or something. Yeah. So you could be doing the train. And I always wondered, man, imagine if you're in a competitive lobby and you see someone just start flying. Like I always go crazy over gliders. But you really only ever see that on like Erangel, maybe Miramar. But man, I want to see a pterodactyl in the sky one of these days. That would be the best.
Imagine. Well,
the Golden Eagles. I guess that's something. They've been flying.
They've been flying every game. What's going on? What's going on with them?
They got
X Factor out. 10th place.
I don't even know if I want to say it's Castle Curse. They did horrible.
I think it is Caster Curse, man.
You think it's Caster Curse? You got a little more
Caster Curse, 100%, man.
You'll take the blame.
Yeah, I'll take the blame on that. I'm sorry, guys.
Hands up. You can't see it.
We got next week, though. We got next week.
Next week. 3 games. One of them's got your name on it. And now that we're seeing the Golden Eagles, this could be a really big moment for both these teams. They're going to force down and two players. Oh, and that's on Coops as well. Dauntless. This is the game where you had to perform and get first if you wanted that $600. And now them even being in the prize placings might have just slipped through their fingertips with that rotation. Only stage 4. We're 16 or so minutes into the game, but with it being Sandhawk, it's so small. You're forced to make these kind of do or die sends, and Golden Eagles, luck, the skill, whatever you want to call it's on their side tonight. 3 eliminations already, 4 players up, and yeah, with them realizing it's Dauntless, I think they're going to say, hey, we're going to camp you out in zone. You're one of the teams we want to prevent getting first place. So unfortunate stuff to see for the Dauntless squad.
Unfortunate, yeah. As we seen, Hoops knocked, thirsted, but there's 2 up.
Yeah.
There's 2 up, and they're rotating for safety.
Well, that's the only thing you can do, right? I mean, you got to try to play in the late game. Maybe, you know, the likes of Inko or someone, they rotate south, right? As I was thinking that they're going north. But imagine if they go south, you can maybe go for a third party. But for a lot of these kind of vested, those veteran players or teams, they make the call outs of, hey, we need to make sure no one comes behind us. And that's usually how these solo or duo players get their eliminations. And we see it actually now. Juancho, I believe he was just ratting a shack, got one of the Golden Eagles knocked, maybe even another. X-Force as well, coming in hot with the third party. The Golden Eagles, they had such a good play, and I got to start agreeing with you on it, T-Mags. The caster curse is hitting strong.
The caster curse, man. I mean, Golden Eagles are not pawing anymore, man. What's going on?
And I've never had eagle. I don't think that's even a legal thing, but you know, chicken's fine. It's turkey and ham, maybe lion if you're feeling it. But Juancho, he's able to reach the tree, trying to get trolls down. Doesn't realize just yet that he's still in the blue zone. He's actually got the same idea. Never mind. Makes the mad dash in. And this is the crazy part, is you come down to these moments of just the long range fights. Luckily, Rush, he's got his teammate next to him. Gonna get Juancho maybe revived. It looks like they're actually gonna leave him bleed out. Maybe he can crawl in time. Might be a big reset for him, but what these players, we saw so much action, T-Mags, we didn't even realize there's 5 teams left in the lobby.
Oh my god. Yeah, 14 players left. What this map is going way too fast. But yeah, we seen Inko the Lions chowing down on some birds, man, on some Golden Eagles for sure.
I don't know how easy it is for a lion to catch a bird, but it can't be that hard. I think it's too much for him. Unfortunately, though, Dauntless, that's going to be the end of their run. Their Cinderella story of first place, not going to be the case. They might still be able to hang on to that top 6 money placement, but Ace of Spades, they had a solid game number 1. I believe they were in that top 4 or 5 finish. They have eliminations here now, and the name of the game with it at this end game is going to be how many players you have left alive. Ace of Spades having all 4. Gaming as well, at least having, I believe, 3, might be a 4-man as well. Matter of how these zones play out. Centers up across the eastern side here. Talking 0-2. We're talking even the X-Force solo gonna have to potentially move in this next circle shift. And you asked me this on air and go, T-Mags, I'm gonna ask you this time, what you got on this game?
Well, it's gonna be tough. And I don't want to curse anyone.
No, come on. That's part of the deal. Anyone. No, that's part of the handshake we had before the broadcast.
I feel that I'm going with 0-2, man. 0-2. Yeah, their synergy, man, is on a different level once they're all in sync, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I have this spot in my heart for Inko Gaming.
Yo, man, you're a sucker for Juancho.
Yeah, dude,
you're a sucker for Juancho.
Juancho's my boy, man. Juancho's my boy.
Listen, he's my boy, but I ain't giving it to him this time, okay? My pick gotta be, I'm looking at Ace of Spades here. It's the easy pick, I know, but it makes it easy for any of this regard, and we're seeing even now, I mean, 0-2, they gotta make the mad dash in the open, not even a smoke grenade to their game. You forget Sandhawk, they don't give you those that much like the other 2 maps you play tonight. You're having to run in the open, and while that's going on, Inko Gaming, actually, they found an elimination onto an Ace of Spades player, so even though they're down to a duo, they make this a 2v3v1 spot. You're gonna have to start making moves though here, T-Mags. Ace of Spades, they understand where the solo is, and Inko Gaming doesn't, so you're on the edge like this, you gotta start making the mad dash in, and I actually like this play. Gary, they were choosing maybe to rotate around, but Versa, too much noise brings the attention, halting Inko Gaming, and now the drive-bys, you're gonna start seeing people shoot, but can you overpeak? Can you get the knock with the zone coming in? You gotta make moves.
That's the bad ball.
Run out of
What's going on, Gary?
Oh no!
That tree got in the way, man. That tree moved. 100%.
It wasn't there last patch, okay? It wasn't there last time we played. Rush now though. He's in the same situation, but he's getting a little bit of help from the 0-2 solo. Blinky still playing forward. Rush has to find the knock here, but unfortunately, Baton, no help for him. The nade gonna be right in front of him. A little bit of damage to the dome. The free fire comes in, and he's not even gonna get one. Ace of Spades. They had a moment of maybe fault, maybe a lack of game sense, but fortunately for them, the winner chicken dinner for them, T-Mags, comes in on top when they needed it the most.
Yeah, you called it, man. You did say Ace of Spades, man. Inko Gaming, dude. I'm sorry, man. I was rooting for you guys. Caster Curse once again. It's something that I'm seeing a lot, man. Any team that I'm going for gets eliminated, man.
And I mean, I think Red Eyes gave me props for it. The very first event I had casted, I made some crazy call out for a team to win Sandhawk, and they did it. And he's like, that's how we all knew you actually weren't full of it when you're talking about stuff. But now, since the age has gotten to me, you know, the hourglass hasn't stopped with the sand pouring down. These teams, I make a call. This one was really easy, but all the other ones, it's as bad as you, okay, T-Max? The caster curse, it eats people alive, whether it's Powerbang, Dave, Jukes, whether it's even Neptura or the likes of the EU boys over there doing the English broadcast. We all got to suffer with it. You just got to put a smile on your face.
That's it. That's it. Just keep on smiling. Keep on trucking, man.
Smile and wave, baby. But someone that's going to be smiling at least this time around, the MVP for Sandhawk game number 3 that we just watched. We're going to be talking, it's going to be an Inco player, Rushy, dropping 6 elims, just under 600 damage to his name. But with it being Sandhawk, you're not seeing teams really perched up here, T-Max, to farm those damage stats and stuff like that. But the surprise, at least for tonight, is we're seeing 3 different players up here on the MVP. Before, we saw 1 or 2 repeating. And with that being said, we're going to look at the most valuable team here of the match. A lot of players had eliminations for their squad, but for the most valuable team, it's going to be the likes of Inco Gaming. I'm surprised.
Let's go, Inco. Let's go. So, hey, caster curse for them to win the chicken dinner. Okay, I see it. But hey, the most valuable team, congratulations, Inco Gaming, with 9 eliminations and 1,200 damage. Good job, boys.
What was that? 6 eliminations for Rushy, and then just under 600 damage, so half for essentially both of those stat lines. But the thing that we all care about the most, of course, T-Max, that overall leaderboard. When it comes to these teams, that's going to be what everyone's interested in. The top 6 is what you're looking at, and the Golden Eagles hold on to first place. They're going to claim that $600, but Ace of Spades, with that win, they're able to pass 0-2 with their eliminations, with that extra placement, getting themselves that second place spot. 0-2 Dauntless X-Fort take that 3 through 5, and 6th place, I thought they were going to lose it to Inco Gaming's final game, even with that MVT versus Sandhawk. NRG squeezes away that 6th place prize pool.
Yeah, the Ace of Spades kind of surprised me. They were kind of like a sleeper team, man. They weren't making a lot of ruckus, but hey, they pulled it together. They got 2nd place, and money in the bank. Money in the bank. What else can I say? NRG, Fate, bro. What's going on, man? You guys dropped Ruins and could not take care of business.
Hey, no, you don't know that song. But I mean, the Ruins fight is always a coin flip, right? For these teams, though, I mean, Inco Gaming, I really thought they'd be able to squeeze by, but that just kind of shows you, T-Max, even with a solid final game, it also matters about those other 2 matches. They really didn't have eliminations. I believe only just around 3 or 5 points total for the day out of those first 2 games. So with this sort of change, you got to be showing up, putting on the big boy pants, and really start slaying out with the eliminations. But of course, congratulations to the Golden Eagles for that 1st place spot. 2 wins. I don't think we were really surprised, but I'm happy to see that 2nd and 3rd place teams, they still put up a fight. And unfortunately for 0-2, yeah, they finished, I believe it was 3rd place for the leaderboard today. They weren't first like last week. We're still seeing changes on that leaderboard, baby.
Yeah, 0-2 went ham the first game. They had 9 eliminations, 10 eliminations, and then couldn't pull it together match 2 or 3, which is I mean, it's part of the game. What can you do? You know, it happens.
Listen, okay, if we're watching PMGC, we're seeing a lot of the same teams putting up numbers, so it's definitely a thing still. But I agree with you. Of course, you know, if we're having to put the coin flip out there, seeing who's going to win, you know, draw the hat of out of 16 teams, because any one of these teams has the capability, of course, right, of winning these matches. It's just a matter of who's on their A game, I guess you could say today. 0-2, they started off strong. Maybe that, you know, 0 placements at the start really kind of kicked them under and made their motor start spitting out or something else different. But Golden Eagles, man, coming out strong. They had those 2 wins. They didn't do too horribly, I guess you could say, in game 3. But if you do get 2 out of 3, I expect you in that top 3. It shouldn't be one game, one prevails over all else. And with that being said, of course, T-Mags, it's not like today's the last day of this. We've got next week, the 5th, December 5th. If you're wanting to come back and watch all this stuff, we will be here, of course, these teams as well. We might have a few new faces. We were missing 1 squad today, I believe, from the lobby, but we'll always aim for those top 16 teams. And it's top 16 of NA. If you're wanting the English, if you're wanting the, the NA representatives, these are the lobbies. These are the people you're going to be looking at and cheering out for. And I was really happy to hear from you, T-Max, just so much hype of Coops, and that he was able to perform on that Miramar when he showed up. I mean, it's just music to everyone's ears.
Yeah, honestly, I think I was the one that just gave him that boost, and then he said, "You know what?
The reverse caster curse."
That's it, dude. The reverse caster curse. He's all like, "Hey, they're talking about me. The pressure's on. Yeah. I gotta execute," and he did. Miramar was his map.
Well, I mean, he's always been able to perform at such an exceptional level. Obviously, I'll take credit for some of that under the Enigma fan club name. Nah, just kidding. But Coops, man, I mean, props to you, of course. Now, for that MVP, we will not be showing that tonight. That will be on those socials posted at the beginning of the broadcast, whether it's Twitter, Instagram, PUBG Mobile, Esports, NA. Will get posted there. If you're thinking your player is the one that claims that $100 MVP prize pool, or you want to get a reminder for next week's stream, that December 5th, that's the place to do it. And for the most part, T-Max, I had a blast tonight, okay? I enjoyed every minute with you. Is there anything kind of on your mind coming out of today that you had maybe questions about, or maybe just something you picked up going into your future games?
Yeah, so what I'm gonna do next time is I'm not gonna choose the team that I want to win so they could win, because the caster curse is the real thing. It's real, and it's there, and it's not gonna go away. So yeah, but hey, it was great working with you, Enigma. Next week we're back at it again, and it was fun watching all these teams, watching players that I've been watching for quite some time now, going out there and doing their thing.
It's all about doing your thing, baby. And that's going to be it for everyone watching at home. Make sure that you're following all the socials, you're subscribed to the YouTube, whatever the case may be. You're watching the streams back and forth over and over, cheering on your favorite PUBG Mobile Titan Series Premier squads. And with that being said, T-Max, we got your notion, of course, just now. Shout out to everyone watching at home. Of course, this would not be a thing without any single one of you guys. You guys make PUBG Mobile content, whatever the case may be, a thing. And that's why this game has been nothing but greatness over the last few years. Of course, the production as well. And with that being said, this isn't going to be the final day of these Pro Scrims watch parties. Tune in December 5th, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, PST. I believe that's 8 for Eastern. Don't quote me on it. I'm not the mathematician.
Yes,
you want to see who gets that $600 next week, this is the place to do it. We loved having you.